Veronica was a pedestrian who was struck by an NYPD vehicle as she was crossing the street. And it was particularly challenging because you have two versions of the accident, no surveillance video or anything like that to really substantiate.
Llamé a muchos abogados y ninguno quiso agarrar mi caso porque no tenía fractura. Cuando oían que fue una patrulla de policía, menos querían agarrar el caso. Hasta que encontré a la oficina de William Resiliano and Frank, fueron los únicos que no me dieron la espalda. Fueron los únicos que me ayudaron.
I remember the day that she came in, and she had physical injuries to the lower part of her body, her ankle, her legs, and you could see bruising and swelling. You could tell that there had been an impact. The challenge was the police officer who was driving the police car. His version was that Veronica walked into the side of the car, and that's how she got hurt, basically blaming her for what happened. But Veronica was adamant that he had come out of nowhere and hit her. And so it really was a he said, she said. I always operate under the assumption that my client is telling me the truth. But now it's my job to have to get those clues to prove that she was telling the truth. We began working on the case. One of the things that was very important was Veronica had taken pictures of her injuries, and I started to interview many different witnesses. The best witness I had in the case was there were two ambulance attendants who showed up at the scene as soon as it happened. I asked them she could have had those injuries as a result of walking into the side of a car, as the driver of the police officer claimed. And they said absolutely not. The only way she could have the injuries that we observed and that we documented was if she was hit by a moving police car. And then I was able to get some other police officers on the scene to contradict what the driver said. And finally, we got the city to acknowledge that the police officer had hit her with a moving vehicle, and they acknowledged that Veronica was telling the truth, and they settled the case for a significant amount of money.
It was really getting into the litigation and getting into the policies and procedures behind what happens when there is an accident of that nature, and I found that to be extremely rewarding. And in fact, it was probably one of the greatest moments of my entire legal career to date when we were able to obtain a settlement for her.
Ellos pelean por ti. Ellos no les importa quién te hizo el daño. Ellos pelean para que ese daño sea compensado. Yo los recomiendo porque ponen el alma y el corazón en el caso de las personas. Ellos me consiguieron una compensación justa y se los agradezco mucho.
At the end of the case, Veronica was emotional, and the reason she was emotional was she felt vindicated that someone acknowledged that she was telling the truth.
She is possibly one of the most genuine, nicest, most humble human beings that you will ever meet, and she was an absolute pleasure to represent and to work with.
Veronica had told me when I met her that she had gone to several other firms with her case, and they didn't want to take it because it was against the city, it was going to be a difficult case. But to me, I believed her, and I really thought I could help her. And the challenge of going up against a big defendant didn't bother me. In fact, I kind of relished the opportunity. I wanted the opportunity to prove that she was right, no matter what it took. And we spent a lot of time and a lot of effort deposing and interviewing and getting a lot of witnesses together. But in the end, it was all worth it. And I truly believe that we found each other, that there was no other firm that could have helped her other than our firm. And I was very, very proud that we were able to represent her. And I was also very proud that we got the kind of result that she deserved.